We are in the consolidation phase, and we are continuing our maneuvers up to our borders. In a few days, you will of course be informed of everything that has been recovered, and we will establish ourselves in these areas permanently. We will not retreat. We will reclaim the entirety of our territory. And this is going to happen. It will happen progressively. There may be regions today that seem not to witness certain acts, but war evolves over time. We will completely clear areas and gradually tighten the noose on these people. As I said, they only have two choices: either understand the message and return to the homeland, or they will disappear. In this fight we are waging today, the most dangerous aspect is the communication war. I think this is not the first time. Today I think that the Burkinabés, the Africans, must have understood what the communication war is. Unfortunately or fortunately for us, imperialism, as Thomas Sankara said, is a bad student, a very bad student, because no matter how much you chase it out of the class, it will come back with the same methods. They cannot change, and often it becomes ridiculous. When you look at imperialist media today, you see what they publish. They use the same method to set Rwanda on fire, the same method to destroy Sudan, the same method to destroy Africa. It will not work. And today, I think you are well aware, they are very skilled at manipulating information, creating falsehoods all around. And mind you, these same media, I say it loud and clear today especially, Jeune Afrique courted us at the very beginning of 2022, 2023. They went through several channels to approach us, to make us pay and clean up our image, as they say. We refused. They cannot deny it because we have the evidence with us. They sent people. That's how they operate. And many heads of state fall into their trap. They pay money every month for articles to be published to clean up their image. No, it's dangerous. They only live off that. You pay the money, they lie. There you go, they clean up your image. You refuse, they lie to destroy your image. But all of Africa must be informed. And if Africans want to progress, they need to stop listening to these deceitful media. Because as long as you keep listening to false information, it eventually becomes a reality. And it's very dangerous for us. Disinformation is rampant. At our level, we experience this every day. And I always tell people to be very careful. All this to divide and conquer. So it is necessary that each authority at their level can perceive, the maneuvers of imperialism, be able to advise others. And that together we remain united to build our country. That is our mission. And we are going to build Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso will be something they never dreamed of seeing. Africa must wake up. Africa must leave this situation of conflict. We have been manipulated enough. We have been set against each other enough to be plundered. Today in Burkina Faso, they have a certainty. Terrorism is almost over. What needs to be done? Either create a rebellion or start a civil war. That's it. And they are maneuvering for that. We are waiting for them. And everyone must be careful at their level. Because if people allow themselves to be manipulated, they will be lined up. They will be ignited like the others too. Manipulation must not succeed. We have a goal to achieve. We will achieve the goal. This is the mission currently assigned to us. And I will therefore invite everyone to take this into consideration, because imperialism has many faces. We talk about imperialisms that are outside the continent, but there are imperialists here in Burkina Faso. When it comes to saying certain things clearly, it must be said. It will hurt, but we will ask for forgiveness. Yet we must tell each other the truth in order to move forward. There are people in Burkina Faso who do not want to see others progress. There are people who want to remain alone at the top. No. We have decided to make the state a bit stronger and to share the wealth. Because the misinformation started already when we began to implement the Faso Merbao initiative. Many entrepreneurs started to mislead the youth and all that. No. We have awarded contracts. We have awarded road contracts, right? At what stage are we? The execution rates, for the most part, are not good. The minister recently went on a tour. You all saw it on TV. It's not going well. It's slow. We are asking people to unite. We ourselves have tried to bring people together in groups. They don't want to work in groups. That means we unite them in one way or another so they can move quickly. We are not going to wait for the whims of some and others and for Burkina to develop in 500 years, 1,000 years. No. For us, it's in 5 years. We want to see quite significant things. So, if you unite, you will have more equipment and you will be able to work more efficiently. As a result, we are in the process of equipping the UMBA, the sonator. Now people are immediately asking for water. We are forced to build our own dams, clean what is there, and dig points ourselves. That's why we purchased the equipment, to equip the UMBA. They are already at Eredego on the road to Bobo to build the first dams. The second part is the bankers. Today, it is still very common that many bankers refuse to support those who win state contracts and all that. We are working on this. People need to change their approach. Is there a banker in the room? I don't know. There isn't one. All right. So you will report back to the bankers. This needs to change because many banks operate with state money. We have asked the bankers to return a portion. This is what we call term deposits, or DATs. These are state companies that deposit their money in the banks. We want our money to do work. People find that they can't give the money because it will weaken their bank. But every year, banks have made so many billions in net interest. The other day on TV, I was watching a bank that also makes billions in interest and shares it. Either we really understand each other around a table, or we will move to another method. And this morning I wanted to make this statement so that you understand that the fight that is about to start, the dust will rise, as we like to say. You must be careful yourself, because these are the same people who will come behind to spread misinformation, to create lies, and lead people away from what is essential. There are already some who are trying. We see many people making videos to clean up the images of certain individuals and all that. Be careful. There are many small businesses closing because they can't afford to pay employees' salaries and all that. They have invoices submitted to the treasury and we can't pay them. But that's it. They say to give part of our money to the bank, we will pay these businesses so they can operate. And people are thinking with the money. Do you think we can leave it like that? The domestic debt, we are going to pay it. By the end of this month, the money will come in. We only asked for a percentage. It's not even all the money we want to withdraw. It's a percentage we asked for to do it. And it requires a lot of thought. Some banks have responded. Congratulations to them. But most banks have not transferred the money until today. This is a message I wanted to send to them. We said the end of March. It's the end of March. If by the end of March, the 25% is not there, we will move on to something else. You have been warned, and the manipulation must not continue because those who are generally victims of this are the poorest segments of the country. He is employed in a small company. He might earn his 50,000, his 100,000 per month. His boss has submitted invoices to the treasury, but he can't get the money. He will lose his job. His whole family suffers, while others are making billions in interest per month or per year. No, this is not going to work. So we need to prepare. This is another front that is opening. There will be all sorts of manipulations, Bascon, but stay calm, Munatao, Iswap, we need to move forward. Those who want to import something to Burkina, go to the ministry. They will give you the papers. There is no deal. If you go there and someone asks you to pay anything, come to the presidency to complain. There is an office there for that. And we will see who asked for the money. There is no deal yet to get a special import authorization. It's clear, it's straightforward. It must be done. Those who import and then hide goods in warehouses to create inflation, please find them and tell them to stop. You don't pay to hide, wait for a shortage, and then release goods at high prices. They need to stop that. I think the ministry has initiated efforts to uncover the warehouses that people have set up under the guise of tool storage. If we catch them, we will sell the goods for free and deposit the proceeds into the treasury. That's the instruction I have given. So I am counting on you, Dana, gentlemen, the economic operators, to advise among yourselves and prevent such situations from occurring. People who are holding back. They wait until there is a need, and then they come out, set a price to gain. That's not even good. It's not good. I don't think it's a fortune that God will bless. We need to manufacture many things locally. I am convinced that whether it's an electric or motorized tricycle, we can manufacture it. So we want to give space to our young talents to express themselves. In fact, we are in the process of building a large center where we will guide people and support them in setting up. And these are people who will look at everything we consume daily. What can we manufacture in Burkina? I know there are talents all over Burkina. The application will be launched soon for young talents to register. In this center, we will do everything possible to have all the necessary machinery and support the youth. There, once they finish, they can go out and create something. If they lend to God, we will set up a leather unit in the Kaya area to transform many things on site ourselves and create everything we need. As long as we don't reach this stage and continue to pay outside, our wealth will not benefit us. We need to change the paradigm right now. That's where employment is. That's where people will work, and that's our true independence. The last point concerns our comrades, students, who have many grievances. In any case, I can assure you that we are aware of all your problems. We will build university residences and address issues of dining facilities and intermediate scholarships. We know all these problems, but it's step by step. We can't solve this immediately. You already have the construction of the city here, right? The administrative building. We hope that next year or later, we will launch the university residences, expand the capacity of university dining facilities, increase the number of meals, and finally address the issue of scholarships, because we are currently working to control military expenses in order to invest in our education, because education is the key. So we have not forgotten all these mentioned problems. I was even talking about the laboratories with the minister. I said to find a standard, a certain number of minimum equipment, and we will build laboratories worthy of the name in our universities. Because people will come to pursue a scientific field, and even when they graduate, they haven't been able to look at a plant cell under a microscope. That's not possible. Yes, we all took scientific courses. To have access to the small laboratories, you enter if there are only 7 or 8 microscopes. Maybe not all of them work. Not everyone can have access. That's the reality. It's always like that. So he is working on that. We want to create model laboratories in many of our universities. You cannot come and not be able to access a certain minimum of scientific laboratory equipment to conduct your tests and familiarize yourself. That's where we can create. If we haven't developed this laboratory aspect, we have concrete theoreticians. I was surprised to learn that even at the level of our researchers, there is no scanning electron microscope in Burkina. Since Burkina has existed, there hasn't been one. I asked the minister, I said, but how do you conduct research then? We are forced to go abroad to rent laboratories and pay money to do it. While the scanning electron microscope, I don't think it costs $1 billion. How can we not do it? Currently, we are in the process of purchasing it to install in Burkina so that we can do everything on site here. So I hope that by then, all of this will be operational.